Welcome back. It's your lousy Florida traveler. This is going to be another series in my hometown on the Fenholloway River. For those of you not familiar with the Fenholloway River, and for those of you that are familiar, the Fenholloway River is an industrial waste dump since 1951 up to about a year or two ago. In other words, our local mill, years ago, our county agreed to bring jobs here to allow them to dump chemicals into the river that flowed down the river. For years, you couldn't even hardly drive over this thing without holding your breath. They've cleaned it up. Now they've decided it's a better opportunity to let's just pump it directly to the Gulf. So they're no longer dumping in here. Now, for those of us who love history, this presents a unique opportunity. There's been, if you're from Taylor County, you know there's been a lot of information done on the Fenholloway River from the lumber industry on up. What some of you may know and some of you may not know is there was life here way before we were a county. The Spanish were here, the French were here, Thomas Mill Run. I mean, there's all kind of Spanish remain. Where we're at here, we're just upstream where the Rocky Creek, which runs in front of the Hampton Springs Hotel, runs into this. We're just this side of where the hunting resort would have been, where the spring is out on the water with the basin. I guess it's still there. I hadn't been there in years. Anyhow, so what we're going to be looking for when we're going through here is going to be anything before 1951. They started dumping in here in the early 50s. It was black water for years. There hadn't been a whole lot of hunting done in this river. Right now we're presented a unique opportunity. The river is cleared up quite a bit and it is low. So we're fixing to start doing some sections on it. It's took me a little bit because a lot of these sections are on hunting club property. And as you know, even on the bank of a river is trespassing. But I got us a few connections. It runs through 3 hunting clubs in Taylor County. I got us a couple members of all 3 hunting clubs who are now going to take us into those clubs. We know that this river was declared navigable from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up to where Rocky Creek dumps into it. That was done in early times. It is well known the Spanish were through here. They had crops and settlements and a couple forts and missions. That's the kind of stuff we're going to be looking for the remains. I know you've heard people say I've metal detected that out, I've done this, let me tell you, I've done a lot of metal detecting over the years before I started getting in trouble for it. And I have found stuff where other people claim they had just researched out. Prime example, on the lower end of the Fenholloway was one of the old Spanish forts. It was a primitive fort. I've heard people over the years say, oh, it's been hunted out, it's been hunted out. And some years back, I went in there and didn't even have a metal detector and found some stuff laying on the ground. So it ain't never hunted out. What you got to remember, if you look it up around Thomas Mill Island, even through the Confederate War, there were some of the Union sympathizers and different things in this area. If you look it up, lots of activity on this river. Not even counting some of the settlers that were here before being on the roll books who were up and down these creeks. So there's no telling what we may find. Fenholloway's low, and now without them dumping in it, it's clearing up. So we're going to get to see not only maybe some Spanish history, we may come across some Native American history, or some Confederate history, or some early settler history. There's just no telling. Remember, ain't been much life on this river since the early 50s when the pollution started. I hope y'all join me and let's check it out together.